Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to talk about three stocks that are absolute beasts and should explode very soon. And in fact, these three stocks have been so disrespected that I don't know how they are still down at these sort of valuations, especially two of them, which we're going to touch on today. And one of them has just brought earnings out and they were amazing. They were 10 out of 10 earnings. In fact, they weren't proper earnings, they were preliminary earnings, but we'll talk about that all in a little bit. And in the comment section yesterday, there was a few people that was asking for a video on a few of these stocks, so hopefully this video covers them all, but there was one stock in particular I was thinking of doing a deep dive on, so when we get to that point, I will mention it. But if you could smash the like button, if you're new, subscribe. If you do want to join the page where I talk about buying or selling companies, link is in the description. And if you do want to start investing, there's some links to some brokers in the description as well below. Like free trade, you join through there, you get a free share as well. But yeah, I was actually I was seeing if I could actually record this video because I did so much shouting watching England last night that my throat is in pieces. But I thought, you know what, I'm still buzzing after England. I'm still buzzing after one of my companies brought out these amazing preliminary earnings. We're going to have to talk about it. So we're going for it today. So yeah, the three stocks that I'm going to talk about in particular are number one, Gan'S. And we're going to talk about this one as well for this point of view. If you look at after hours, look at that little pop that's going on where you can see it here. We're going to talk about that in a second. But the first one is Gan'S. So this stock has gone down to $15. Now the 52-week close of this one is $13. So this is really the lowest of the low it could go. You know, we haven't been here since, you know, November time, and in fact it's IPO time, so this is really low prices for Gan'S. And I look at a company like Gan'S and I think, you know what, when you look at Gan'S, you know, what have they done? And I look and I think they've just bought out a Q1, which, and we're not talking about Q2 yet, which we'll talk about in a second. We've just brought out a Q1 that grew 100%, and this company is trading at IPO prices still. Like, it's just bonkers that this company is at a valuation which it was at a year ago, and it's just grown revenues at 100% rate. It's just crazy. And yeah, you know, this stock is obviously in this kind of US iGaming gambling growth that's kind of going on. But yeah, you look at today, you know, down 7% on the day. You look at GNOG, and this is one that a lot of you guys are asking for a video on, so hopefully I cover it here. But if you do want like a proper deep dive, maybe that's something we could go through. But same again, you look at this one, $11, down 7% on the day. You look at it, 52 highs, you know, this is 52-week low, sorry. This is, you know, back at nearly SPAC prices. You look at this company as well, you look at what has it done since a year ago. It's grown its revenues at 50%. It's just crazy. And DraftKings as well, my biggest one of all three of these, down at $48, down 5%. After hours it was down even a little bit. And this one isn't at 52-week close because it has been on a very good run, but still, you know, we are quite a fair off our 52-week highs anyway, 32% down. So, you know, that's still a fair drop on this one. And this is the one that does trade at the higher valuation compared to the other two. But, you know, that's market leader, I guess, so you are going to pay a bit more valuation on this one, and it is growing faster than both of them, so you kind of justify the valuation, I guess. But still, anyway, the whole point I was going to get onto is that, you know, all these stocks in this area have shown a lot of weakness recently. And generally yesterday was a lot of the growth stocks in particular had one of their rough days, and this is what happens with a lot of growth stocks. When they have the rough days, you feel it. It wasn't just these guys. You know, there's a lot of other growth stocks that were hurt yesterday, and if you had a few growth stocks in your portfolio, I'm sure you might have noticed it just slumped down a little bit. But in general, a lot of these companies in a sector that's going to be growing huge over the next few years, massive growth. And the crazy thing when we're talking about here is that when we look at Gan'S, when we look at GNOG, when we look at DraftKings, they're only just scratching the surface. Like, they're big reason for so much amazing earnings, which isn't getting reflected in the share price, by the way. You know, you look at these companies, they're at where they were a year ago, and Gan'S grew at 100% revenue rate, GNOG grew at 50% revenue rate, DraftKings grew at 130% revenue rate or something. And all these companies are valued at where they were a year ago. This whole sector at the moment is getting disrespected, and when they wake up, when Wall Street wakes up and other investors wake up to this sector, a lot of these companies are going to explode a huge amount. And then GNOG, you know, if GNOG does what it's going to say it's going to do now, this company's at like trading at its 4 times its sales. For a company growing at 100% rate is 4 times its sales. It's just mind blowing. I can't even think of a valuation I've seen like this. The last time I've seen a company like at this sort of valuation was the likes of like Tesla and Pinterest when they were growing huge and they went down to this sort of price sales ratio. And you know what happens to them? Pinterest went up 300%, Tesla went up 1,000%. I'm looking at Gang now and I'm like, this is just nuts. It is nuts at this valuation to be buying a company like this. This company isn't far off making profit as well with an amazing balance sheet and so much good growth. It's just crazy. A lot of these free companies that are just going beast mode with revenue growth and Gang in particular, which isn't too far off profitability, just so disrespected, and it's scary. It's scary because I'm actually starting to look at these companies. I was looking at Gang the other day, and I was going, this stock at like $15 is just amazing opportunity. As me as an investor, I'm looking at this going, this is so disrespected, and this stock is performing absolute beast mode, but the share price is so disrespected. This is such a good opportunity. And at one point, I'll be honest, like I looked at Gang and I was like, this company actually. I was looking back in the last quarter, or Q3 should I say, and Q4 I think in particular. I looked at this company and thought, I wonder if these guys are actually going to perform. And I look at Q1 and what we'll talk about in a second, which is preliminary Q2. I was like, wow, that is so impressive, really good earnings. And it's just disrespected. GNOG as well. This is one I got a few comments on yesterday. These guys are probably going to be a little bit more on the impossible side as they have to actually do like the promotion to acquire customers compared to something like a Gang. But even so, this company is now trading at a pretty decent valuation. I just noticed that. I don't know why it has a P ratio of 10 on it. And then DraftKings as well. This does trade at a rich valuation, really, compared to the other two. But even these companies, the thing is, we're talking about these companies performing absolute beast, like now, going up like 100% revenue rate. But they're only scratching the surface. The only thing they've done on the last kind of few months is they've launched Michigan. And we're not even talking about, okay, what happens if New York comes online this year? What happens if any other states come online? These companies, like DraftKings is probably the one in the most. I think DraftKings, I can't remember off the top of my head now, I think they're in 8 states. But 8 states, that's still very small. GNOG's in like 2 states. Gang is only in like, I think 3 or 4 states, but it's going to be in a lot more by the end of the year. These guys, you think that's just crazy? That's in the US. They've got, nearly 10x the room still to grow with the states in here. And it's just bonkers. And that's not even talking, well, what happens if you go to Europe? What happens if you go to Canada? It's just massive potential for these companies. And these are 3 amazing companies that are so disrespected. And at some point, Wall Street are going to wake up and go, oh, these are really good. We should probably consider buying these. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just thought, first of all, I wanted to just make that point because I had a few questions about these companies, and just like a quick recap onto like how good these opportunities are. Like, generally for me, I've always said like one thing that you would have in your portfolio for me is you should have a payment company. I think payment companies are just really safe companies that you can just lock away in your portfolio and they'll just do the job. I think this industry here is same again. The growth in this industry is you're going to have multiple winners, and you've got likes of Gang at like a PS ratio 4, GNOG at like a PS ratio 6. I mean, DraftKings is a little bit more, but still, it's the market leader, so you're going to pay a lot more up for it, and it is the fastest growing one. So yeah, just wanted to say that on that point of view from them sort of stocks. And the next thing that I want to just go to is the earnings side of it. So what I showed you just a second ago, if you look at Gang, it's coming up 17% after hours. Now at one point it was actually up even more. It was up in the 20-ish range, and it had a slight pullback. Now by the time you guys actually see this video, you'll know how Gang's probably done on the day. It might have jumped up even higher, it might have kept it, it might pull back. You guys will know the outcome, but at the moment that's what's happening. And if I'm honest, this jump here is a bit disrespectful. In my opinion, when you've got Gang at $15, these earnings for me wasn't a 17% jump. These are sort of the earnings that I expected to see a 30-40% jump on the share price. Their earnings were that good. This jump here is still disrespecting what Gang's just pulled out. Let me show you. So Gang, which is a channel favourite, they've been banging on this one now. As I've always said, 2021, you watch this company, they will pull it out, and they are doing. This is just crazy, right? So Gang preliminary revenue beats expectation. Stock soars 18% after hours. So first of all, preliminary. Gang never do preliminary earnings, but basically the crack with this is that normally if a company brings out preliminary earnings, it's either to go, A, our earnings are so good, we want to tell you, or B, our earnings are so bad, we want to warn you. Obviously in this case it was to obviously show off. And Gang have never done this before, and I think they just looked at the stock price today. I think this, solid stock had gone 7% down and just went, you know what, this is stupid. Let's get something out there to get the share price going. And yeah, they went into obviously preliminary earnings and they were so strong. So revenue is expected to be in range of 34 million to 35 million, beating the consensus of 23 million. 34 to 35 million beating 23 million. That's like nearly 50% revenue beat. That is absolutely amazing. So good. This is what I mean by this. These earnings deserve to be like a 30-40% jump in the share price. That's how good they were. Let's not forget, Gang normally moves down 10% on normally it has a horrible history of earnings. Gang normally moves down like 10% after its earnings, and its earnings are normally like in line. So the fact that we've had a huge beat like this and it only went up like 18% is so disrespectful, especially when it's at $15. Positive adjusted EBITDA to be 3 to 7 million, as higher than expected revenue more than offset investments. So yeah, that's once again really positive, looking to get more to not losing money, I guess. So that's great. I'll let you read that if you do want to read it. Basically went on to why they're performing so well. Now the next bit here, this is once again, this is crazy. Increase financial year 2021 revenue guidance to a range of 125 to 135 million, compared to the consensus of 106 million. What a upgrade on that revenue upgrade. It's just absolutely crazy. Do you want me to show you how impressive these numbers were? Basically, if we look here, they're guiding between 125 to 135 million. If I just pop onto Simple Wall Street, if you look here at 2021, 106 million. If I jump a year to 2022, 135 million. So these guys are at the higher end of their guidance, are looking to do what analysts were expecting them to do in a year's time. This company is currently performing a year ahead of what's expected. So when I said to you this company deserves to be jumping 35% above after hours, not 18%, this is why. This company is a year ahead of where it should be now. In July. It's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. This company's a year ahead of where it should be. This company is now performing better than what I thought it would. And I had big expectations, but this just shows how far ahead this company is actually performing right now. And then this kind of leads me to the next point of view. This is, when you look at Gang here, what does this mean for this whole industry? This means this whole industry is absolutely performing. And do you know what that also means? Gang just pulled out great earnings. Do you know what other two stocks have the potential to pull out great earnings coming up? This one. This has the potential to do it. And especially this one. Because if you look at the reasons why, is obviously it was the B2C segment, but a lot of it was higher than expected sports betting. Now obviously GNOG doesn't have that side of it. Well, it does, but not. It's mostly focusing on like the casino side of it. So we might not see as strong earnings from GNOG, but definitely for this one, you are looking at that one going, this could be a good quarter for them guys as well. And the crazy thing is, I look at these companies and I look at them and think, we're not even talking peak season. We're not even peak NFL season yet. So you think about what these numbers are going to be in 3 quarters time. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So the thing is with these earnings as well, Gang earnings, it just shows how hot this sector is and how hot GNOG's and DraftKings earnings could be. And like I say, we're just scratching the surface, and the fact that we're a year ahead of where we should be, so impressive. So yeah, and just one last thing I wanted to share with you guys, which is the only little annoying part about yesterday, is this is a little screenshot I took from Patreon. So you can see here at 6 o'clock yesterday, just trying to get my buy orders in before the England game. Just an update in the market. I put what I was actually looking to buy because we had a bit of weakness. I thought, I'll take a few opportunities to buy. I blocked the other things out because I wanted to just make sure that I keep that to Patreon only. But this little bit here is that I also have sent some money to DeGiro, so I own Gang in my DeGiro account. And I'm going to buy some Gang at $15. So yesterday I actually sent some money because with the Giro it takes about 24 hours for it to hit your account. So I thought tomorrow I'll buy some shares in Gang at $15, and I'm gutted. I'm gutted because I was going to buy some and then boom, it just shot up. So kind of gutted that I missed that opportunity to just buy some more Gang shares at $15. But nevertheless, I won't hold too many grudges because I do have a lot of shares already, and those preliminary earnings were good. But yeah, that's the only little frustrating part, is that I did post on Patreon that I was going to buy some Gang shares. I did also buy a couple of other shares actually, but that one as well, which obviously, never mind. Maybe there's another opportunity. We'll see. It is a stock that does move up a fair bit anyway, move up a fair bit and a fair bit down as well. It's a bit of a volatile stock in general, but yeah, thought I'd share with that one and just talk about them three companies, how strong the sector is, how much future growth it is, how good Gang is performing right now. Absolutely phenomenal, and yeah, hopefully that was useful for some of you guys that wanted a little bit of an update into these three companies, I guess, as well. But yeah, let me know what you think of the Gang earnings. Smash the like button if you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you next video.